Welcome back to Cinema Flicks and Music Picks. My name's David, your host with the most, the beast with the least. The least we can do this evening is an update video, a little short update. Short by my standards, not by anyone else's. And it occurs to me, probably should have done this a while ago. So I'm going to structure things a bit going forward. So last week with the new Young box, you'll have noticed that was titled Box Set Wednesdays or some generic title like that. So just to schedule it, we're going to continue that. So alternating weeks, as the name of the channel suggests, one will be movies, one will be music, and we'll head forward in that direction. Sundays, we're going to just pick one from the vaults. Again, pretty generic, but we'll maybe think of a better title for that. And that will be shorter videos because I won't need to go through all the unboxing and explaining and this is out now and here's what it comes with. So it'll more be a review of the actual films themselves or the music themselves, songs, whatever the case may be. I don't think I'll be reviewing much else. Video games from the 90s, anybody? Breakfast cereals? So it'll be just a more structured version of what I'm already doing, and then ad hoc videos when new stuff does arrive that might be of interest. And most of it's not of interest anyway, but it doesn't stop me. So no sweeping changes. But the main thing, sweeping changes. Hello, Sweep. Say hello. This is Sweep. Yes, I'm making a video right now. Yes, I'm talking bollocks as usual. Well, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. Sweep says I should probably, because I've picked up quite new subscribers in the past couple of weeks, just say what the ethos of the channel is and whatnot. So thank you very much, Sweep. Yeah, kiss. Oh, love the boy. Yeah. Sweep's actually a Russian national, so he's worried about the current affairs at the moment, but fight on, comrade. I'll be there with you in the trenches, don't worry. You don't need to tell me the lyrics to the red flag. I'm not going to repeat that in camera. Putting on the ironing, putting on the style. Okay, Sweep, so say cheerio. Sweep's off to the Crimea, see what he can sort out. He's actually one of those kind of Tinker Tailor types, I shouldn't say that really, shouldn't kind of out him as a spy, but Sweep may need extraction. Repeat, Sweep extraction. So the ethos of the channel, as Sweep suggested that I've mentioned to you there, is essentially, as the title suggests, we're going to talk about music, we're going to talk about movies. But some people have said to me, why aren't you reviewing, it was Spider-Man somebody asked for, the new Spider-Man, Boba Fett recently. What was the most recent one? Yeah, it was Boba Fett, wasn't it? Two simple reasons. Number one, everyone is. And number two, I don't have a passion for them, and that would come across. I've been doing it just to get likes and hits and views and shares and subscribing. I like those things. I'm not being snooty. I'm not being sooty. Sweep joke. But that won't travel outside the UK. A bit like him when they find out about his visa situation getting back to the Ukraine. Am I right, buddy? Yeah, he's away. But yeah, we just come across as false, he can copy and paste my opinions on one Marvel movie to the next. Martin Scorsese called them a roller coaster ride or an amusement park, and people came down on him like a ton of bricks, saying, what do you know, you're out of touch and blah. He's right. The minute one is finished, what do? You stay to the end credits and that sets you up for the next one. What do you do at a theme park? You go on a ride, and that sets you up for the next one. It's exhilarating while it lasts, and ultimately unfulfilling. Is Scorsese wrong? But sure, Marvel and DC fanboys know more than Martin Scorsese about film. But no judgment to people who are passionate about that kind of stuff. If they can talk about it at length, good, more power to them. I'll watch it if you've got something interesting to say about anything. But I just don't. So I'd just be sitting here going, Boba Fett was good, except for the bits that weren't very good. And I liked the bit with this, and that bit was alright. And there's nothing there from him. Sorry. And then a little bit about where'd I come from, where'd I go, where'd I come from, Cotton Eye Joe. So raised on rock, as you can imagine. Movies and music were part of my childhood, as I've mentioned. My dad instilled movies in me from a young age. Wasn't allowed to watch Disney until I was an adult because we had to watch only what he would watch as a child. So westerns and war films and things. He wouldn't sit through Dumbo. So I saw E.T. when I was about 30. So yeah, that explains a lot. I should speak to my therapist about this. And then when I was 20, I got a job in a record store, which I have the sign for if you'd like to see any retro sign. Lost in Music. Yeah, it brings back some memories. And you can see how old the sign is by the fact that they buy your old CDs, tapes, videos, not DVDs, videos, posters, and concert tickets. Now, when I was there, we were not buying posters and concert tickets. In fact, we could hardly give away vinyl in 2005. Didn't matter what it was. It was the odd thing, but we could hardly give it away. And for West Enders and Glasgow people, the other side of this sign, CA Games. Charlie Adams Games. Good old Charlie, that used to be in the arcade as well. So that's where we were, on Crosswell Lane upstairs. I was there for 3 years. So in there, I got a ground in music, which was a real education. I thought I knew what I was talking about going in, but the time I came out, I was pretty literate in music. Not that you can ever become totally literate, because you can't possibly hear it all. I'll just get to sweep, put that down for me, buddy boy. Thanks, pal. Not that you can ever become totally literate. There's always new stuff every Friday, and every day there's always something old that you've not heard, and there's always these super deluxe box sets that make my Wednesdays so exciting. But in there as well, we sold movies, and working in there, we got to buy stuff at cost, including stuff that we were buying in. So I was always, when people would come in to sell us collections, I was going home with, my wages spent on big bundles of stuff every week. And through that, I was buying, hundreds of blues albums, soul albums, funk albums, rock albums, obviously, prog albums, and then movies. So it was DVD just about at that point. Blu-ray, which we closed down in 2008. By that point, I'd become manager by default, just by moving up with everyone leaving, above me. And Ian, the owner, not been terribly interested, and so knew the place was. He'd sold the building. It wasn't that we just closed down. He sold the building. So Blu-rays were starting to come out. In fact, the first Blu-ray I ever owned was. I wonder if it's right here that I can point to. It's right. In fact, I'll pull it out. Heaven and Hell, the reunion of the Black Sabbath, Ronnie James Dio lineup with Vinny Appice, so the Mob Rules lineup essentially. Well, that's all gone a bit haywire. I'll fix that in a minute. So that was the first. So about then was when we started getting any Blu-ray, and then it all went sort of from there. And I've been in offices ever since, but they're never going to make me respectable. To quote the old Sabbath, "You won't change me." That's not changes. That's you can't change me from technical ecstasy. in case you think I'm quoting changes from Volume 4. It's 2 albums along the road. Yeah, so that's really it. So there'll be no sweeping changes, but there will be more structured content. So Sunday's individual album and or movie, and Wednesday's box sets, and then ad hoc anything along the road that comes along. Now, it's not in my psyche to just come on here with nothing apart from my buddy, my second dog, Sweep, and not show you something at least. So I thought I'd show you something that will only take literally 2 minutes. So I pre-ordered the new Get Back, the 8-hour Peter Jackson epic. Not that he does any short movies. He could do The Snowman and turn it into a 3-day movie. But I pre-ordered that, and as a pre-order bonus you got a Funko Pop. Now I'm not big on Funkos, I only owned one. It was my little pal Leon that sent me it. David S. Pumpkins, my favourite Tom Hanks performance of the last 30 years. But for pre-ordering, you got a Beatles exclusive Funko. And the Beatles exclusive Funko is... Now tell me what's wrong with that picture. Yeah. That is John Lennon, right? Obviously. But it's John Lennon from the Live in New York era, as you can tell by there, because it's the same picture from the album cover, in psychedelic shades. What part of Live in New York was psychedelic? Anybody? Bueller? And what part of psychedelia or New York in what, 73 I guess the concert was, or 70? Yeah, 73 I think. Yeah, it was the only live concert ever in full, I suppose Plastic Ono Band, but it's the only one billed as John Lennon. What part of that or psychedelia have got anything to do with the Strip Down, Let It Back? Anybody? Bueller? Answers in the comments. I don't know. Here's a Pink Floyd super deluxe Piper at the Gates of Dawn figure. Sid Barrett, but it's bundled with, I don't know, that Pulse Blu-ray. It's got nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. In fact, no, at least that would have had something to do with it, because at least they do Astronomy Domini. But yeah, this is just HMV exclusive John Lennon Funko with the wrong glasses, with the wrong outfit, from the wrong era. But I love that album, so I'm not really complaining. I love Live in New York. Yeah, that's it's got lots of cool stuff from Plastic Ono and Imagine and Sometime in New York City. Like Women is there's lots of good stuff. Anyway, I've still managed to ramble for nearly 15 minutes. We are going to cut it short, but that wasn't bad, because it told you the plans for the channel, the ethos of the channel, more importantly, maybe. Introducing you to my buddy from Russia, heading over to sort of world events. Don't worry, it'll all be over by Christmas. He's on the case. And we met a rather out of time John Lennon. Get back, I say. Get back to where you once belonged. You get that? You see, because it's get back. No. You and me, two of us. I made a review on that soon. The Beatles Let It Be Deluxe box. I've got that over there. Who knows? Tomorrow though, tune in, because I did have something in mind for the movie box set, but the plans have been thrown out the window like an unwanted baby. Dark comment. Thrown out the window like last week's sandwiches. That's better. And we're going to do a tribute video to the great Jonathan Timberlake, who has just been diagnosed with the Rona, him and the fam. but asymptomatic. He's just been positive. Him and the lovely wife, she's got a few symptoms but nothing major, so we're sending all the love in the world to the Timberlakes, and all the hate in the world to Boris Johnson. Always, just always, every single time. That should be now taken as read, okay? 15 minutes, 21 seconds, okay. I'm always conscious at the time but then completely ignore it. You ever notice that? Thanks for watching though. I've been David. Thanks for watching once again. Tune in tomorrow for a box set review. Again, dedicated to Jonathan. So what could it be, Johnny boy? What could it be? We'll need to wait till tomorrow and find an answer to that conundrum. But until then, do what Jonathan didn't do, and remember, let's be very careful out there. Love and mercy, my dears. Love and mercy, tonight and always, but especially Jonathan.